May the 4th be with you. I mean, may the Force be with you, since it is no longer May. But I wanted to show off my speed art to you guys of my Princess Leia. I went for a different kind of style for this. I kind of wanted to do no outlining of it and see how that worked. I did do an outline on her face. I'm not quite comfortable yet doing no outlining of like the facial features, so we'll see how that goes. While you are watching, I thought I could do some Star Wars facts for you all. So the first one is, according to the book The Making of Star Wars by J.W. Rinsler and George Lucas, originally planned for Yoda to be played by an adorable monkey wearing a mask and carrying a cane. Monkey, Green Muppet. I'm gonna go with the Green Muppet and Frank Oz, so yeah. The word Ewok is never uttered by a character in the original trilogy, although the species is identified in the script and closing credits. You may think you never see Boba Fett's face in the original trilogy, but the actor who played Fett, Jeremy Bulloch, did stand in for an Imperial officer at the last minute. The phrase, "I have a bad feeling about this," or "I have a very bad feeling about this," is said in every Star Wars movie. So I would suggest your challenge is to rewatch all the Star Wars movies and find out where those are said. I might do it, but I might not do it for the prequels, just because I don't like those. In a story development session for Return of the Jedi, George Lucas toyed with the idea that after Luke removes dying Vader's helmet, he puts it on, proclaims, "Now I am Vader," and turns to the dark side. I'm not quite sure how that works, because as we see in the prequels, like, Anakin gets to the dark side based on several circumstances, and then just to have Luke be like, "I am now Vader," there wouldn't be, unless they come up with some sort of story in that. I don't know, but who knows. Boy band NSYNC made a cameo in Attack of the Clones at the request of George Lucas's daughter. They were edited out of the final cut. Bye bye bye, Justin Timberlake. So I wonder if there's like deleted scenes or something like that. Yoda's species has never been named. A mystery it is, unless it gets named in The Mandalorian. I don't know. Let me know if it does get named. I haven't watched The Mandalorian yet. Legendary Muppeteer Frank Oz voiced Yoda, and Jim Henson oversaw his creation, but he was built by a member of Lucasfilm, so don't expect to see him at Kermit's holiday party. In The Phantom Menace, Yoda has 3 toes, but in The Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, and Revenge of the Sith, he has 4. So he lost a toe? He might have lost a toe. That's okay. Even though female fighter pilots were in the original screenplay, they were removed from the final cut. Well, that's just dumb. I know we get fighter pilots in the later trilogy, as we see, but I guess not in the original. George Lucas admired Stanley Kubrick, and when he set out to make Star Wars, not remake it, he hired so many people who worked on 2001: A Space Odyssey that the group was referred to as the Class of 2001. Aw, that's funny. No physical suit of armor was ever built for the clone troopers in the prequels. Every single clone trooper was computer animated. Can totally tell that. Can totally tell. CGI was not where it was, where it is now, so you can totally notice that. In Episode 1, the personal communicator used by Qui-Gon Jinn is actually made from a resin cast of a Gillette Ladies Sensor XL razor. Now that's pretty cool. I might just have to rewatch the prequels just for that, just to see how that happens. The alien race of E.T. the Extraterrestrial makes an appearance in Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, officially connecting the worlds of Lucas and Spielberg sci-fi. A senator and his delegation from planet Bordeaux Azogi are present in the Grand Convocation Chamber when Queen Amidala calls for a vote of no confidence. I totally remember seeing that in the movie. And I was like, hey, look, it's E.T. Granted, I have never actually fully watched that movie. Don't hate me. Acclaimed film director David Lynch passed when George Lucas asked him to direct Return of the Jedi. Aww. David Prowse, the actor who portrayed Darth Vader in form, not voice, is banned from attending official Star Wars conventions because George Lucas finds him annoying. Aw, that's kind of mean. That's not very nice. The sound of a TIE fighter engine was created by combining an elephant bellow and a car driving on wet pavement. Chewbacca's voice is a mix of bears, walruses, lions, badgers, and other dying animals. So it's a dying call. The noise a lightsaber makes is created by combining the hum of an old television's picture tube and the buzz of a film projector's motor. Now that is probably something a lot of you don't understand what happened. So way back when the TVs were boxes and they had tubes and stuff in them to like turn them on and get them to work. I don't know, film projector motors, you might notice them in like older movies or movies set in like older times, where it does like a rotating thing as the film goes along. I don't know how film projectors work now, but that's what it is. The sets for the Phantom Menace were only as tall as the actors, but they didn't account for the 6'4" Liam Neeson. They had to rebuild all the door frames for Qui-Gon Jinn, which racked up an additional $150,000 in production costs. Well, that's what you get. You gotta build it for really tall people. You can't just go at a baseline. There are shot-for-shot recreations of A New Hope and Emperor Strikes Back made entirely of campy fan tribute videos. So if you combine them all together, you could probably watch a campy version of Star Wars. Originally, Jabba the Hutt was not conceived as a grimy slug, but as a fuzzy creature. Now that would be interesting to see, whether or not you want to see a slimy slug or a fuzzy creature enslaving Princess Leia. I don't think it would have that creepy feeling that we get in the movies. I just think of like Mr. Stuffins or whatever that strawberry bear is in Toy Story 3. That's what I just think of if that was Jabba the Hutt. George Lucas paid a fine and resigned from the Directors Guild rather than start Episode 4 with a traditional credit sequence. Interesting. Very interesting. Filmmakers use a physical crawl to shoot the opening credits in the original films. What's a physical crawl? We need to figure this out. Is it like they physically... Oh, so they physically had to, like, pull the thing across as they filmed it. Like, there's a mechanism where they pulled it across. How cool is that? That's so cool. Burt Reynolds was among the top contenders to play Han Solo, along with Al Pacino, Jack Nicholson, and Christopher Walken. I think Burt Reynolds would probably be the best if it weren't for Harrison Ford. Like, honestly, I loved Burt Reynolds when I was younger. So, I'm okay. At the others, not so much. Maybe Al Pacino? I don't know. Because I know these guys as like older rather than younger people, and Harrison Ford looked really good. Yeah, I don't know. I think Burt Reynolds was the only one that could go with the silver fox, like looks young but is old kind of look. Cheers and Toy Story actor John Ratzenberger has a brief appearance in Empire Strikes Back. He's the one who tells Han not to go out into the cold to look for Luke. Then he sits down for a beer with Norm. Gary Kurtz, the original producer of Return of the Jedi, said that in the early story outline, Han Solo dies and the rebel forces are left in tatters, with Luke disappearing into the wilderness. But George Lucas thought killing off main characters would hurt toy sales, so he changed the ending to a big Ewok party. Which, I mean, since it was later in like the 80s and stuff when that came out, I got to enjoy like episode 6 of Star Wars, so I really enjoyed the Ewoks. I know if you're older you don't enjoy the Ewoks, but since that's like what I grew up with, I really enjoyed the the Return of the Jedi movie. I think that was probably my favorite. And then I think it became A New Hope became my favorite after rewatching them. I don't know. I'll have to take a look because the prequels I loved as a kid, but watching them as you're older and you have acting experience, you're like, wow, this is really bad movies. And then the later trilogy are good. The seventh, what is it? The eighth one was a little iffy, just because the way the direction happened, I didn't like so much. And then I haven't watched the ninth one yet. I really need to watch it. I'd have to say, out of all of the Star Wars stuff, I think Rogue One is probably my favorite movie. And you can fight me on it if you want. I don't have a lot of time to go into it. Maybe I'll do another Star Wars thing and talk about Rogue One and my love for it. But since this is the end of the video, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell if you want notifications. I always try and post on Mondays. I shouldn't have any delays for now in posting, since we'll probably be in June by this point. But I hope you all have a wonderful week. I hope you are staying safe and staying inside as much as possible. And I will see you all next time. Goodbye!